everyone and welcome to CBL. Wish you all a very happy new year. Welcome to this year's first class of Current Affairs, Science and Technology. So let's have a look the current affairs that happened in the week 29 December to 4th of January. Let me start with the issues which we are going to cover this week. First of all, we'll have a look at the happy news that the new corona variant does not increase reinfection or the death or this disease severity. So a good news for all of us. Then another good news for all of us is that India is going to start with its vaccination program with not one but two vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin. But there's a small sort of trifle between the two companies. So we'll have a look into that thing. So next we'll move on to Vyomitra, the first Indian woman to ride to space. This news is dated back to January 2020, but again a tweet by ISRO we need to know more about Vyomitra. Then we'll come to know about the world's largest radio telescope in China. Again, the next important thing which we are going to discuss is at IIT Delhi, mock eggs made using lentils. A proud moment for an Indian again. A woman scientist at IIT Delhi has innovated a mock egg from a plant source. So looking at these issues, I'll start with the first one, that is coronavirus new variant does not increase reinfection risk, disease severity or death. So a moment of relaxation for all of us all over the world that the new mutant is not that harmful. Also with that, the vaccination has started world over in some of the countries like UK, US, and other European countries as well. So in India we are waiting, but our wait is over and we have the new vaccines, that is Covishield. It has got a node from the DCGI which is for the vaccination program, will start soon. So this vaccine basically, that is Covishield, has a shelf life of 6 months. It needs to be stored at a temperature of about 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius. And most importantly, 2 doses need to be given to a person by injection only, and this should be done for the second dose has to be given after 4 to 8 weeks of the injection of first dose. So basically what we want to say is that the approval has been given by the Drugs Controller General of India, where the vaccine would be given in 2 doses to the people aged 18 years and above. Still the work is going on, and as per the news today, this vaccine will soon be administered to the children of 2 years of age, but it needs to be tested again for that purpose. So for now, the vaccine will be given to persons aged 18 years or above. As I told you, there will be 2 doses. So once the vial has been opened, it needs to be used within 6 hours. And the second dose must be given between 4 to 6 weeks after the inoculation of first dose. But some of the nations say that the second dose can be inoculated even up till 12 weeks of the first dose. Right? So the vial once opened must be used within 6 hours and needs to be stored at a temperature of 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius. So these are the important things that one must remember regarding the Covishield. A new triple has sprung up between the two vaccines, that is the Covaxin and the Covishield. Because the AIIMS director gave the statement, Bharat Biotech's Covaxin will only be a backup till the completion of its phase 3 clinical trials. But as for the news today, this has been rejected by Bharat Biotech. It says that Covaxin is equally potent and equally effective against the coronavirus as is the Covishield. So it should not be considered a backup, rather it's an equally potent and equally effective vaccine. But the happy news for us is that we have got 2 vaccines, and the vaccination will start soon, right? So I move on to the next important news, that is that this vaccine will be not still it is in the third phase, but third phase continues for a longer period for a number of vaccines. So leaving apart the third phase trials which will be going on, this vaccine can be used not as a backup but as an important vaccine. The next important thing which we are going to discuss is about ISRO tweet, what ISRO tweeted on December 30th, that is Vyomitra, the first Indian woman to ride to space. Actually, Vyomitra, this news goes back to January 2020, where Vyomitra was designed. Vyomitra. Vyomitra means the space friend. So what ISRO tweeted is that even before orbiting astronauts on India's first manned mission to the space in December 2021, ISRO will send Vyomitra, a lady robo, in unmanned Gaganyaan spacecraft. So what ISRO wants to ensure is that the complete survival and safety of its manned mission. A number of other space agencies do so. Generally, they use robots or they sometimes use animals to ensure the safety and survival of their astronauts. But this Vyomitra is a half humanoid which will be used before the manned Gaganyaan mission. So probably this half humanoid is going to ensure the safety of GSLV Mark III. Right. Now what is half a humanoid? A humanoid is basically a robot which has the appearance of a human being. So why is it called half a humanoid? Because it has just got the upper region of the body, that is head, the torso and the 2 hands, not the lower limb region. That's why half a humanoid. So this humanoid basically is being developed at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Now the basic idea behind the ISRO developing this humanoid is the survival and safe travel of first Indian astronauts in 2022. I hope you are well aware that 4 Indian Air Force pilots are being trained in Russia for this manned mission in 2022. To ensure that they do not face any problems and to make sure their safe travel and back on Earth, this humanoid is being developed and it will carry out a number of rescue operations along with the astronauts. So what is Vyomitra's space job? It will use equipment on board the spacecraft such as the safety mechanisms and switches. It will receive and act on the commands from ground stations. Very important for the ground staff that now they'll be able to get the information in a right manner on the ground from this humanoid robo. Attaining launch and orbital postures, responding to the environment, generating warnings, replacing carbon dioxide canisters, operating switches, receiving voice commands are some of the important things that this Vyomitra will do. Most important aspect is that this Vyomitra has lip movements synchronized to mimic speech. So she can act as an artificial buddy to an astronaut, thus providing audio inputs on aspects like the health of the spacecraft during the launch and other orbital phases of the manned mission. Vyomitra will also report back to Earth regarding the various aspects of the crew model such as heat radiation levels, which will obviously help to understand the safety levels required. So before sending the actual men to the space, Vyomitra will make sure that they go and return back to the Earth safely, right? Before that, some other space agencies have already been using humanoids. Let us have a look at some of the humanoids used by the various space agencies. And this might be a potent question which will be asked in your prelim exams. So just a list of some humanoids used by various space agencies up till now. The most recent is in March 2019, where a mannequin named Ripley was flown on the Dragon Crew capsule launched on SpaceX Falcon rocket. Then we have got the artificial intelligence robo called Simon, that is Crew Interactive Mobile Companion, which was deployed on the ISS by Airbus. Apart from that, there was a floating camera robot called IntBall used by Japan's JAXA space agency. Kirobo, a humanoid robot astronaut built in Japan, was flown to the ISS along with another astronaut, Koichi Wakata, and its purpose was to serve as an astronaut's assistant in conducting various experiments. So Kirobo was well versed. It had voice recognition, facial recognition technologies, and some telecommunication capabilities as well. So now for India also, Vyomitra will have all these capabilities, right? Also, a Russian humanoid robo, Fedor, was sent to ISS in 2019 to carry out mechanical functions on the space station. So what we want is the risky operations which could not be performed and are risky enough for human beings must be performed by these humanoids, right? So humanoids will be a great help to our space explorations, right? Now moving on to the next important news, that is world's largest radio telescope, right? And that is FAST. FAST means 500-meter aperture spherical telescope installed in Pingtang in China, Zihao province. It is in southern China, right? Now this telescope is basically a very wide satellite dish that is able to receive the signals from other celestial bodies. So it costed a lot, about 1.1 billion yuan to build this, and the construction started in the year 2011. In September 2016, it received its first light, that is, it started functioning, but its complete operations started in January 2020. Up till, as the data says, up till August 2018, this FAST had received signals from 2018. Up till August 2018, this FAST received signals from 44 pulsars. Rather, one more thing I would like to add, in 2017 also, two important pulsars, namely FAST-1 and FAST-2, were also discovered by this very telescope. That is, this FAST-1 is approximately 16,000 light years away from the Earth, and this FAST-2 is 4,100 light years away. They were also independently discovered by Australian agencies also. So this FAST boasts of its 500-meter giant satellite dish, and this dish is big enough that it would cover the area of 30 football pitches. It is surrounded by a 5-kilometer radio silence zone where mobiles, laptops, cameras, laptops, computers are not allowed. And this is again in news because in 2021, it would allow the foreign scientists to carry out their measurements using this very telescope. And why this FAST? Basically, the Chinese want to capture the radio signals emitted by celestial bodies such as pulsars, and this data would be of great help in understanding the origin of the universe and to search the alien life, right? So this was in news this week because it has started accepting the request from the foreign scientists, right? Now moving on to the next important news, that is an IIT Delhi mock eggs made using lentils. An IIT Delhi scientist, Dr. Kavya Dashara, has been awarded the first prize at Innovate 4 SDG contest organized by UNDP. She has been, along with her team, has been able to develop and innovate mock eggs using lentils, and this prize would carry a cash prize of worth rupees 3.7 lakhs. Professor Kavya Dashara has used basically lentils, moong dal as the main ingredient to develop this yellow slurry and this mock egg, which will help in giving the exact nutrition as provided by the eggs, the taste, the physical features as well as the protein requirements given by an egg. So this is identical to egg in taste and nutritional value. And most important, it would be of the same price as that of a brown egg. As per Dr. Dashara, it is made up of 5 lentils and the price is the same as that of brown egg, rupees 20 to 25 per dozen. So if 200 ml of this is taken, this would be equal to at least 5 eggs. And UNDP has recognized this as a big innovation because its main motive towards sustainable development, which includes zero hunger and good health and well-being, is being realized by such innovations. So what we want, that there should be zero hunger and no malnutrition. So the innovations like mock eggs. Along with this, I would like to add, this has also, the IIT Delhi scientists are also developing meat alternatives for chicken and fish from plant sources, including fruits and vegetables. An important innovation where now the protein requirements would be obtained from the plants. Even those who are vegetarians would be benefited and the protein rich diet would be delivered to it. That's all for this week's Science and Technology Current Affairs. I'll see you soon. Until then, thank you.